I wanted to meet Alex. I wanted to meet a number of you, and the vibe so far has just been nothing but support. I can tell you that I kind of described what's been going on with my family and everything else that's happened with all this Russiagate shit, and it's like kind of like this long boxing match. We're kind of in the 15th round now. We feel like things are kind of winding down, and it's like you take so many gut punches and things happen. You just kind of become numb to everything. But we have an absolute bulldog in our corner right now. Her name is Sydney Powell, and she. We wish, hindsight is what it is, but would it have been great for her to be, our lawyer from the beginning? Yes, but things happen, and you make certain decisions. But at the end of the day, lay out what happened. Tell them. Yeah, I mean, start from the beginning. Well, kind of going off with what Ivan said. I mean, Crossfire Hurricane did not begin July 31st. It just didn't. We know that my father was set up from as early as 2015, maybe even before that. He was absolutely targeted because of his loud voice against the Obama administration. I never forget a conversation that he and I had whenever he retired from the DIA. He said, look, we talked about getting into business together, but then he said, look, I'm tired of listening to the Obama administration lie to the American public about the ISIS threat. And that's really when we got on a roll in the media, and he went on to various talk shows and instantly became a target because he was out there basically calling out Obama and all these other deep state officials that were just out there. What's up? Oh yeah. So anyways, it's been a long journey. It's so complex what's going on with this case right now from December 2015, and then all of a sudden we're at the RNC convention. That happened, and then August 10th was really when the 3 individuals were opened up. Crossfire Hurricane. August 16th was when the DSA decided to open up an investigation on General Flynn. The very next day, the August 17th date that Ivan Ranklin mentioned, was when they decided to send this FBI agent in and essentially. Essentially spy. Essentially get that baseline reading on my father for whatever reason. The biggest reason they went after him was because of that one picture of him sitting at a table with Putin when he and I traveled to Moscow in December 2015. And what's never been reported by the media, which to this day is unfathomable, was we absolutely briefed the DIA the day before we left for the trip and 2 weeks after we got back from the trip. Perfectly sanctioned, told him everything that as far as what we were going to do. Everything that he talked about while we were in Russia, is available to the public. So that was it. There was absolutely no reason why these guys, could even open up a CIA investigation on him, other than the fact that he didn't speak, and didn't live up to the status quo in terms of the establishment that is, in DC. So, from August to December, there was obviously a lot of, talk about him being the vice president, and then, we get into December, going into January, and obviously I think most people know about the January 24th interview that, where the 2 agents were sitting in the White House by, the assholes that are, Comey and McCabe. I'm personally sick and tired of reading Comey's tweets and John Brennan for that matter. You look at what these guys say, and it's like these guys are the heads of some of the most powerful agencies in the world. Yeah. And it's just so mind-boggling to me that these guys were running, our most secret organizations, if you will. And so, from the end of January of 2017 to December 1st of 2017, when he was forced to plead guilty. It's like people ask me all the time, why did he plead guilty? Think about it. I can tell you unequivocally that I was absolutely threatened. I was absolutely threatened with being indicted. And I'm sure sure everybody knows who Sean Handy is. He's been a loud voice for us, but he absolutely is correct that I had a father that absolutely fell on the sword, to protect me from going through something that I would have had to put my then 4-month-old and my wife through. Okay, and look, I'm not up here looking for sympathy. I'm just letting you know that this is the truth. This is what happened. My father's not guilty of anything. I think everybody here knows that. And last thing I'll say is that the story is so complex.
I want you to keep going for another 20 minutes. We got plenty of time. We got like an hour of question and answer. Talk about your father as a patriot and what you guys went through and the vindication now that the whole lie is coming down and Roger's telling everything. Just tell them what happened. Tell them in 5 minutes what happened, what you guys went through as American patriots.
Yeah. As far as what you can picture, just a regular, American, military family who essentially wasn't. We weren't wealthy people to begin with. We had, my father and I had a private business, after we left the DIA, but we weren't raking in, millions of dollars, and then, all of a sudden this stuff, kind of came down with having to, hire lawyers and.
Why did they go after your father?
Yeah, well, again, they went out, the deep state went out with my father because he was outspoken on a number of things. The main thing was Obama's signature foreign policy, which was the Iran deal. The Iran deal, and I'm not an expert on Iran, but I can tell you that the Iran deal was a big thing that he was highly against, and there's a lot of people.
Who's the big credit for that?
Major.
Lay it out.
But the other part of it is he was willing to call out how much the deep state and specifically CIA and FBI had become very, very political organizations, and that's still. You see what's going on in the news, and you see what's happening with all these partisans that we just saw with this impeachment process with Adam Schiff, all these just political bureaucrats that got up in front of national television, and it's as clear as day just listening to these people. How in the tank they are for the left, and as far as I can say that my father has wanted to speak out about this stuff ever since day one, but for obvious reasons, he hasn't been able to. But again, I mentioned Sidney Powell and how she's been a big advocate and obviously very, 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 very outspoken for us, and. That's a deal
after all the persecution you've gone through to come here and speak on these live feeds and out here. But let's get back to the beginning as soon as we have left. I appreciate you coming here today, your courage to do it. I know you've been in your family persecuted, haven't persecuted. We know what it's like. We get persecuted because we support America. We realize that persecution is actually a blessing. And we don't see ourselves as victims. Some people listen to this guy's saying, because his dad, just like Roger Stone, and just like so many other people, they tried to put his father in prison. They try to hold years in prison and bankrupting them to lie about President Trump and lie about the populist election we had. So I hear a lot of talk. I love you guys. Just respect. Everybody just stop talking for 1 second. Just 1 second. 1 second. Just 1 second in your lives. His father wanted to serve America and try to defend our republic. Because he wanted to put in the Trump administration patriots that would promote freedom worldwide. They were scared of the army that George Washington founded 245 years ago, finally getting control of the government again from these communists and these globalists. And then they launched every attack they had. And now, 4 years later, all their designs have failed. But the people like General Flynn are such humble men who just defend their country. They're not like me, a wicked devil. They don't see all the angles. And now that they've been victorious, they are silent in the face of their victory. We have discredited Obama. We have discredited Hillary. We have restored the republic. We have defeated the Chi-Coms. America has had a great victory, but America doesn't have a media to tell you the victory you've had. So General Flynn faces fake sentencing. And I say, like I've told Roger Stone, call their bluff. Because we've done nothing wrong, we're good people. So General Flynn's son, God bless you. Rising now.
All right. I mean, the last thing I'll say is that we still have a fight in front of us. We have a couple of motions out there right now that we're still waiting on this Judge Evan Sullivan to either grant or deny. There's kind of a battle of. Oh, absolutely. There's no question about that. I mean, I think again, I mentioned the kind of the whole boxing round analogy. I mean, to me it feels like we're at the end of this. I can just tell you right now that. I mean, something has got to happen before this election in November. I mean, something has to happen. I'm sick and tired of reading about the potential fixes and what we're going to do here and there. I want to see people held accountable. I'm tired. Again, I'm tired of these guys running their mouths on Twitter, running their mouths on social media. I want to see. Let's just see one big name arrested. Just one. Just one of them, okay? Because behavior's not going to change if something, we throw around that word accountability, and it's like, it just doesn't feel like accountability's happening right now. And trust me, I'm just as frustrated, if not more, than the next person. And all we can do is continue to do things like this, speak out and let it be known that you're just as pissed off as I am. That hey, Bill Barr, John Durham, I know you're out there, but let us know what the hell you're doing. Like give us some. That's it. I'd love to be able to answer that, but I'm going to defer all questions like that to Cindy Powell. I mean, Cindy Powell, if you ever want to contact her, you can always reach their website, but she's probably one of the most open, transparent people that you'll ever meet, and she's family to us now, and I'm telling you, I mean, just kind of stay tuned, because there's certain things that can't be made public that will be made public, and it's just, I hate to even say stuff like that, but at the end of the day, we're going to win.
Let me say this. By the way, Michael Flynn Jr. came here humbly today to expose the persecution his father, a noble Army officer, has gone through defending this republic and trying to secure our future. And so, come back over here. You're a very humble person, just like your father. You don't have much work on this. And I'm here to tell you, we need to stop being humble about what's happened. Your dad's been a patriot his whole life. He stood up to the globalists. He tried to give Trump good advice. He was persecuted. He's a hero. And we need to celebrate our heroes. People that got Congressional Medal of Honors, they're wonderful. People that got Silver Stars, Bronze Stars, they're amazing. We love them. But this is the real fight for America right now. And you're humble about this. But you came up here tonight, I know under major pressure and persecution, to tell the truth. So in closing, tell the people watching out there on the internet and everybody here in person why you decided to come out and speak up for your father tonight. I think it's because you know the tide has turned. The hoax is broken. We're Americans.
I came up here with Iron Raven. I don't know where he's at. He's around here somewhere. Ivan's always dragging, pulling me, in five different directions. We were at CPAC before, and I'm gonna be there the next couple of days. I came here because I knew some of the InfoWar guys were gonna be here, especially Alan Jones. We've actually never met in person, so it's certainly a great honor to meet Alex Jones. I mean, I know and obviously followed the story, and I certainly appreciate everything that that you've been through. I can't imagine what the deplatforming has done with some of these just ridiculous tech companies. But at the end of the day, like you're still here, you're still standing, you're still you're still doing your thing, and that's important. And trust me, what I will say, because I had this conversation, and this is the last thing I'll say. I had this conversation with my father all the time. I said, look, your time is not done with America. You know that once this is all said and done, that you're going to be pulled back into the scene in one way, shape, or form. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to speak for my father, in that regard, but I can tell you that his time is not done. He will get his ass back out there and speak up about things that maybe he's still not
That's right. General Flynn bet on America 3+ years ago and tried to put the White House stocked with patriots. He was attacked as enemy #1. And now, 4 years later, we are turning the tide. His son is here with us tonight. This is a beautiful time.